Alright there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to tonight's match. Tonight, it's going to be Stevenson University versus Drexel University Gold. We're going to be starting here on Oasis with Stevenson on Team Blue, while Drexel is going to be on Team Red. We'll be starting here on the City Center. Now, I'm going to be really looking forward to tonight's match here. This has been in the waiting for over a week in counting, believe it or not, as there had to be some reschedules due to the homecoming weekend this past week. So really looking forward to see how both sides are going to set themselves up to push tonight. They're going to look over here at the side of the Mustangs. You're going to be seeing them play with their typical comp. Going to be seeing the Juno, Brig, Orisa, as well as Cassidy. As for the side of Drexel, they're going to be going for double hit scan, almost an exact mirror comp, believe it or not. The difference here is going to be Unwritten and Quits. One being Soldier, the other being Genji. Let's see how these sides both unfold. Both sides are going to be able to meet each other pretty early on here, but the fight's going to be taking place right against Drexel from the get-go. Taking a look here at Garfield. Garfield's going to be able to help get an initial pick thanks to assistance from Jasper here, as Root Beer also is taken on down. However, take a look at this. It's going to be 3 down from the side of Drexel here. They're trying to see if they can pick on up from behind here. Drexel has to really try to stay alive here. Keep Logan on up as well in order to see if they can hold out on point. Genji being able to receive some cover from 40 to be able to stay alive in this fight is very imperative here. As they're backing off, giving point over to Drexel, they have enough members to re-aggress into this. Looking from the side of Stevenson here, they're looking to try to get a different angle at the moment, as fighting the front and forward is not the way they want to really take this fight to start. Going to be trying to see if they can find some extra poke going around here. Beautiful javelin coming out from either side, trying to just keep tempo, but the point is still counting here against Stevenson. So we're going to have to see something change up here. Surprise from the side, as you're going to be seeing Jasper and Unwritten working together to take down Mr. Serious. But trying to see if they can stay alive here, but the damage is high here against the Mustangs, as we're seeing them having to play very safe against Stevenson here. They're looking to try to see if they can find some picks, but these fights are going very wide and awry, if you will, believe it or not. As from the side of the Mustangs here, they're now finding the first pick. We're going to be going in with the Dragon Blade here, doing some initial damage. Let's see if they can find Soldier, but not going to be the case here. Both Terror Surges coming on out, and the first one to fall is Colin and Unwritten. Logan going to be followed up with the third, with Garfield Pipe as the fourth. Last one live here is going to be Cassidy, who does make it out in time. Jasper will try to regroup here, but can he is the question. He's out in the open, taking a bit of damage here, down to half health, as Stevenson's not going to overcommit to this. Stevenson committed a bit of ults there, so did the side of Drexel, but between the Dragons and the Mustangs here, it's really about how they're utilizing these ults and the tempo of these fights going into this. Garfield taking a whole lot of damage to start here, having to play it a bit safe, as you're seeing that Root Beer is being pushed on back here. Trade out here coming from Mr. Serious, as now a High Noon coming in as well. Finds the pick there with a headshot to follow up, but Papa May is not long to live. If Serious can get it done, could find a pick out here potentially, but has to reset. For the side of Drexel, this is exactly what you need as a fan. You're looking to see that you cap this out and shut Stevenson down in the first round. You don't want to give them the advantage here to start. Now going to be looking for the rotation here. About 10 seconds remaining before the point is done. Going to be seeing the aggression onto high ground here. Going in with the rally. You hit it first there, but the rally is going to get eliminated to start. Papa May having gone on down first does cause a bit of problems for them. Root Beer trying to stay alive here through this fight, is the only healer available. Could not get the right quick out in time. However, the damage is being dealt here. There's trades back and forth, and there really is the opportunity to be had here. They just need to help close it on up there with Mr. Serious to find the kills. Now these players have to be careful. They cannot get off this point before they turn it over. And they get just that done. Drexel here is in a beautiful spot. They have ults in the bank here. You're looking at High Noon. You're looking at Visor. You're looking at Brigitte Rally. So everything going into this fight is going to be very important that Drexel tempos this properly and does not get picked off early here. Taking a look here from Jasper. Jasper looking to see if they can find some picks, but getting pushed out instead with the combo wombo here from Quits and 49. Being able to pull him on in and allow the blade to go dry and get the kills. They used rally going into that, so Drexel does not have that rally to initiate into this next fight here. They're going to be trying to work heavily into this ult of Terra Surge, of Tactical Visor, as well as High Noon. High Noon going to be coming around towards the side here. You're going to be seeing the off angle here. Stevenson has to make a decision here. Do they take the fight forward, or do they try to go for these flankers here? Very split, as Unwritten's going to be the first to fall. They're trying to see if they can turn this point with the pole follow-up. High Noon finds no one. Not enough damage to be found in there. There is the Brigitte traded back there. However, you're going to be finding elimination there to start with High Noon trying to be pushing on out. 49's trying to help for the setup here. It's 99 and 99. Can Colin make the touch? They do in time, but they need to stay alive here for the Tactical Visor. Tactical Visor getting shut down immediately here. Lucio makes it back in time. It's up to Logan. Logan has to really try to stall it on out to be able to allow Ball to get on back. Can they do it? Not this time, as round number 1 goes to the Mustangs. With round number 1 completed, they're 1-0 in favor of the Mustangs here. Drexel really has to try to put together some sort of strategy meeting here to see what is the plan going into this. Right now, you're seeing that they have swapped over Unwritten over to the Tracer. An interesting selection, mind you, given that Tracer has high mobility and high damage output if consistent, but they opt for the Mei. Especially going to be on this point here. Mei can be very useful going into this. TP coming out from Stevenson, even if it's a short distance, that's all that matters to try to get ahead of your opponents. Going to be high ground to low ground difference here as both sides take opposite angles here to start. Going to be taking a look from Drexel's POV here first. Colin here doing what was a grand job trying to keep the team alive for that first round here. Now working hard to apply pressure for the team that's maintained point control here. But the Mustangs here are going to be trying to see if they can provide some extra poke, having rotated on around here. Point has unlocked, and now they're looking to see who is the pick to make here. They'll be seeing some initial damage coming out from both Mustangs here as the engagement comes out against Drexel. Drexel does not find the elimination they were looking for there, as the Mustangs are following them on their flanks. Not going to be giving them an opening to take advantage of. So the point's going to start in control of Stevenson here. Going to be looking to see what is the plan for Drexel. Drexel, now not having access to point this time around, needs to try to see if they can force the fight to point and isolate their targets, utilizing the Mei walls here from Unwritten. Unwritten's a little slow coming back. 40 has to play it safe, as they could get caught out easily. But it's not really doing much other than trying to zone Stevenson, and they did just that, being able to keep Stevenson off in time. But here comes the orbital cannon, being able to go in with some extra damage boost here, secure this point recapture. Just Colin trying to get out as best they could, but they could not, as Mr. Sirius is able to pick up the kill from there. They do have their own orbital cannon ready for use, so they could optimize for going for a hard roll either to the high ground or against 49 here. Garfield Pipes really going to be trying to see if they can lead their team for this setup here, and I believe the decision is made. They're trying to see if they can take down 40 here, and now High Noon coming around, being able to knock Mysterious off the map, but it's going to be comboed against as 49 is able to get the territory going there. You're now going to be seeing some Ghost Dash coming in and finding a pick up from there as 40 is able to get the trade up against Unwritten. Garfield Pipe, just the last one alive here, as it's going to be a team kill. 70% in counting here. There's just less than 30 seconds remaining for this fight now. You're seeing here Blade ready, Rally ready. And as for the side of Drexel, you're going to be working with that High Noon, Blizzard, Terra Surge, Rally, and Orbital Cannon. You got to start using some ults going into this, and ults you are going to be seeing here coming on out to start. Probably going to be coming out from Unwritten here first, as you have all ults available, 90% in counting. Here comes the mail. Blizzard is now out and zoning, being able to help push everyone away from point and buy time for the side of Drexel to turn it over. Drexel now has the job of trying to see if they can maintain hold of this point as the Blade comes in here, trying to see who they can find. Dash is coming in, but not going to be able to get any picks here, as it's going to be Stevenson finding the damage a bit too much to bear. Finds the pick on the 49 there, and they're looking for some more. The reflect there does a bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough for Stevenson to hold it, as the point was already given up to Drexel beforehand, and a fight won in their favor here. A good number of ults was invested into that fight there. You only have Colin available for theirs, as you're going to be seeing Stevenson invest their orbital cannon to push in immediately to the point. Point turns now with just 2% remaining. They get into overtime with the pull. Right quick combo, wombo, finding them time and time again. The High Noon going to be coming out here, finding Garfield Pipe. And ladies and gentlemen, map number 1 goes to the Stevenson Mustangs. I mean, this type of team was very close to one another for the setup, but ultimately it came down to how you maintain the space and tempo, and 40 did just that here, setting up with the combos of their Juno to be able to find elimination after elimination. Target focus, beautifully executed. We're going to hit a short break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello everybody, welcome on back. We are here on Palacio, located in Rio. Here we're going to be going through the beautiful Brazilian neighborhood as we're going to be going on a hybrid point now. Stevenson is currently up in the series 1-0 from winning the Oasis map, and there have been sub-ins from both sides here. Legend has been subbed in for Papa May, while Zeus has been subbed in for Garfield Pipe. This map has been selected here by Drexel. There have been no side swaps, so Team Blue is still Stevenson and Team Red is still Drexel. We're going to have to see if this is going to work in their favor, as from little insight I've heard, dive is the forte for their sub-in. So Zeus here probably is a specialist when it comes to dive. So we're going to have to see if that's going to work in favor of the Dragons, or if Stevenson's going to be able to adapt to it enough to push them on back. Find out here now as the match begins. Ladies and gentlemen, round one is underway. Gonna be starting out here with the dynamite hits immediately on to Zeus here, who has to play it safe and try to tempo how they're going to engage this point here. They're taking a look at if they want to dive this or not. Their lineup here looks to actually not be looking to engage the tank, but going after the support line here. Immediately Anti going to be coming out against the Winston here, as Trade's going to be coming up against one another, 2 for 2, but Stevenson has the picks. They're up in numbers right now, and they're looking to try to figure out the rest, seeing if they can make some follow-up picks here. Not going to be a whole lot to find at the very least, as Jasper trying to play for a bit of poke here, but is in very dangerous territory playing towards Stevenson's backline. Both Mr. Sirius and Legend are going to be able to make it back to the point here with no issues, as CJ has to play very carefully. CJ is going to be the first to fall here against Zeus, as 49 is going to try to see if they can apply some pressure, but the pressure is too strong to handle here. Sweep is going to miss that there, but the Anti comes out strong here, trying to keep 49 up desperately so, working to guard their support, and doing it, they do well. Being able to stay alive throughout the entire fight will allow Stevenson the chance to re-engage on the point here to make sure they do not get a second tick before needed. Going to be moving in fast, trying to see if they can find a pickoff here. Immediate trade against Mr. Sirius as the Terror Surge is activated here, but the numbers aren't looking too hot, as Jasper's going to be able to find that double with the Pulse Bomb here, and trying to finish off Quits as well, finds the elimination as Drexel is able to get the first point. Being awarded an additional 2.5 minutes here, Drexel has 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Stevenson here now going to be swapping over to a dive composition here. Taking a look at their ultimates, we're going to be seeing that they have the Nano and only the Nano available. As for the side of Drexel, they're going to be relying on the Kasune Rush to give them some haste. It's going to be initial dive coming on out here as the progress on cart begins. Lots of poke to be found here at the moment, as they're trying to see where they can find an opening. Root Beer just barely able to stay alive, but not long enough. Mr. Sirius does find the trade on the Jasper here, but everyone is quite injured here, as can be seen. 40 losing their mech, and now Mr. Sirius having to play it safe themselves. Trying to see if they can get the elimination. They do get the trade up there, as Mr. Sirius is able to get Logan and Unwritten. Now going to try to see if they can try to finish off the Winston here. Has to be careful of the Tracer. Tracer going to be able to activate that recall in time to make sure that they can escape and regroup. Drexel here has plenty of time, plenty of space. They have a tempo here, and they're trying to work to build up ults. Now it's going to be an ult fest going into this fight here. What's going to be used first? Find out here and now, as we're going to be looking to see the first pickoff going to be by 49 here against Zeus, being able to take down the tank. That's going to make Drexel be forced to back on off. Not going to be able to engage into this fight, as they cannot apply the pressure they need to go in. So for the side of Drexel, they're going to try to make a regroup here. Unwritten has the copy ready and available. Could be going for support to try to go with triple heals, or they could try to double up on tank. If they're able to get D.Va here, this could prove very useful for the side of Stevenson. Instead, as you're going to be seeing them take down Echo. Zeus here trying desperately to stay alive, but has to play safe. The card is still moving as the Kitsune Rush was activated here. Going in fast and aggressive. They find their first pick there onto Root Beer, while Beat Drop going to be activated there to help keep everyone alive. D.Va Bomb coming on up here. Can everyone get away? Not the Winston, unfortunately, does throw down a bubble to save his team, but not needed as everyone had already escaped in time here. Going to be seeing now, it's going to be a cleanup on IO Drexel. They're going to have to try to play it back and regroup once again with 2 minutes remaining. They invested both support ults into that and found a bit of card movement, which is the positive in this aspect. However, Stevenson still has 4 ults to work with here. Definitely going to be seeing a chance for Nano Blade, or even just a regular Orbital Cannon for the team to play with. The Orbital Cannon has been activated immediately, maybe by accident, dare I say. Drexel has a big opportunity to actually just wait this on out, because if Stevenson pushes in, they need to utilize it as such, but they're having a rough time here from the side of the Mustangs, as you're going to be seeing the DMAC come out immediately here. Legend's going to have to try to stay alive here. Hits a beautiful sweep, but unfortunately gets followed up on. High Noon going to be activated here and finds the eliminations with Mr. Serious gain a double. Jasper going to be trying to see if they take the 1v1, and they succeed in doing so, finding the damage where they want and getting the elims for the team. Being able to get this cleanup here, there's 3 remaining on card, and 3 is the maximum speed you can get it moving, as you're going to be seeing this setup to try to capture the second point. Swap over here from Root Beer to try going over to the Brigitte to help adjust to the dive they're facing. Stevenson unfortunately cannot make the touch here, as Nano has been invested by the side of the Mustangs here. They're now just looking to see what they can find for eliminations, but everyone has scattered to the winds as the fight had already been lost. 40 going to be able to get that initial pick. That's a great setup for them. Their Pulse coming on out, but finds no one there. They will be able to trade the Ana, but the fight is just staggering against one another on a consistent level. Stevenson needs to play safe and back. The point has already been won by the side of Drexel, but they do waste a good amount of time, at least 30 seconds from their time bank from the minute and a half they were awarded. Now for Drexel, the Dragons here have the space they need. They need to now continuously capitalize on said space and try to make sure that the dives they go after will be good. If you go for reckless dives, you will be caught in the open and taken down easily. Quits here, now going to be coming up with the blade, but going to be nullified here by the beat drop. Here comes the D.Va Bomb. D.Va Bomb going to be caught in the Winston bubble, so not going to be able to find any limbs there. Winston going in for a dive yet again, trying to see if they can stay alive here. Zeus playing a very dangerous game with Destiny in the open there. There's a lot of spam and not a whole lot of cover as they're going to be taken on down there. The Mustangs now finding their space and going to take capitalization on the space made to push on in. Jasper trying to see if they can get on out, does successfully, but I stand corrected. Speaking too soon, the curse of the caster reveals itself again as Jasper is going to be taken out by Quits. It is now down to 45 seconds here. Unwritten with the copy, Colin with the Kitsune Rush, and Jasper coming up on that Pulse Bomb. Pulse Bomb is going to be very crucial here to get the supports as they did in the first point here. Has to try to stay alive. Can they duke it out against Mr. Serious? Mr. Serious going to be able to play it safe as we're going to be seeing copy go in immediately. D-Mech, no value here as Root Beer is going to be able to get that, helping push in with the armor for the team. They're going in fast and aggressive. Jasper here has the stick. Beautifully executed, being able to find the pick they're looking for. Mr. Serious is not going to be one to be held back. They're going to be able to find 2, make a stick right there before falling victim themselves with the follow-up there by 49. 49 going to be able to get the pick on the Jasper, needs to be able to remake it down, gets the remake kill with the squash. It's in the overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Logan has to stay alive here. They cannot afford to go down. Nano coming on out from Legend as they're going to be looking to see all eliminations. Jasper able to make that touch in time as Unwritten cannot make the touch. And that's going to be round number 1 completed.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Well, with 2 points secured and a total of 65.21 meters obtained, Stevenson now has to do their job to match it. If they can, they will win this map. Otherwise, this one goes to Drexel. If you're a Drexel fan watching this, I bet you're really hoping that your team's going to be able to make this hold here. And by all means, they look like they have the skills and the ability to do so, but it ultimately comes down to execution in the end. As for you Mustang fans, you're going to be making sure that you root for your home team here, as they're going to be working to try to push back against the opposition. We're going to be seeing coming out from either side here, no changes except for Logan and Cohen utilizing the Brigitte and Anna for the support lineup. Unwritten going over the Cassidy, while from the side of Stevenson, they're going to be keeping the exact same comp. I stand corrected, as we're going to be seeing the Baptiste now, but Mr. Sirius starting out on Widowmaker. An interesting selection here, as Widow does have a slight advantage coming out from the spawn doors if the enemy peeks them. If they do not, as it seems that Drexel is playing back, then Widow's not going to get much of any value here. Here we go. Shot's going to be coming out to start here. Zeus coming just a little over half health now, as Stevenson's going to be making their rotation here. Going to be finding the initial pickoff here by Mr. Sirius onto Colin there. And they're looking for some more, just waiting for the shots. Being able to take down Zeus, that's going to be the tank out and gone here, as you're going to be seeing 2 down from the side of Drexel. Jasper here has to be very careful and safe. They've been caught out in the open here. Can they make it alive? No, sir. Getting caught by their ankle by Mr. Sears. They have to play it back. 2 ticks already gained by the side of Stevenson, and with 2.5 minutes awarded here from the first point, they have 5 minutes and 45 seconds to work with. An enormous time bank here on Paraseo, one that is rarely obtained in competitive matches like this. So to be able to see it executed so flawlessly is truly a wonder. Now you're going to be playing for second point here. This is going to have a lot more high to low ground here, so Stevenson might not have as best of a time pushing here if they cannot take away high ground from Drexel. Drexel is going to have to try to play for some poke or try to get some eliminations in the backline here. Looking for some shots here from Mr. Sirius. The Widow just trying to break down the Brigitte shield. Spots the Cassidy, but Cassidy trades out Legend here. Legend being that first one to fall does put Stevenson in a bit of a stubble, as they're going to have to try to play it safe here, given that they only have Juno to work with. Mysterious and Quits are going to be the first 2 to fall here in this fight, as 40's going to try to escape recall here from Jasper to be able to get some initial damage and get out alive. 4.5 minutes do remain here on the clock, and Unwritten with a high noon available, and Nano coming out from Colin ready for use. We could be looking at Nano Winston or a Nano High Noon. The Deadeye will have to see if they finds value. Looking to see if they can get some initial damage going. They have to be careful, because Mr. Sirius is not one that plays games. They go for the kill here, and they're doing a grand amount of damage. Now going to be coming out to Zeus here. Zeus receiving the Nano and trying to go in fast. They are able to take down Rupier here, trying to get away from 49 here. Just barely landing, but gets taken out by the boosters. However, let this be known, it's even from either side here between Drexel and Stevenson. Both sides have to play it smart here, as Drexel down their tank, but Stevenson down a support. So we're going to be seeing the tempo play for here. Pulse Bomb is ready and available, might be going for the stick, but actually tries to hold it here. Just barely having enough time to blink away. Going to be re-engaging into the fight here. Let's take a look at Quits. Coming in with the Dragon Blade. Being able to find that first elimination there on to Colin. There's not going to be able to get the support line up there to start. Followed up here, Tracer going for a Pulse Bomb, but not going to be able to find an elimination with the counter of the Reflect. Right click to the face. Unwritten does get the pickoff on the Mysterious here, as damage is going in fast and furious against Drexel, but it's not going to be enough, as Stevenson has been awarded a minute and a half. So with 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the board here, they have a huge lead to work with that Drexel has to try to tempo against. Winston having to play very safe at the moment. They can't be overly aggressive, taking as much damage as they are. Jumping in each time as they do only puts them at risk, as they're going to be immediately playing with the Primal activated. The card has not even progressed much of any yet. Jasper in the backline here trying to see for a pickoff here, but needs to get away. Unwritten, on the other hand, still holding this high noon, really needs to find an opening to use it, or use it to get either people low for Winston to pick them off, or to get an elimination here. It's not about how many, it's just about getting it off, as having an ult and never using it finds no value. Right now you're seeing Drexel here very set back here, as they cannot push their way on in. High noon goes off, gets eaten by the Diva, so not going to be able to find any pickups from there. Mysterious having swapped over to Cassidy, but gain eliminated right away. Winston here receiving the nano to stay alive here against the window. Does get the DMEC here, gets the kill onto Diva, and they're able to hold this point for now. As there's still 3 minutes remaining in this fight here, anything can go, truly. Let's get an eye on Logan and Colin here, the two supports for the side of the Drexel Dragons. You got to see here that Drexel needs to build this rally up as soon as they possibly can. They can't really afford to just play poke this entire time. Having Stevenson swapped over back to the setup of the brawl, they're looking to see what picks they can find, but High Noon not going to be able to find anything. Jade coming in, finding the first pick, looking around for the second, but going to be just playing for cleanup here. Winston's the last one alive, does not have ult yet, mind you, trying desperately to work up to it, but ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a team kill, and Stevenson takes map number 2. And play of the game coming out from Jasper. I mean, who else would it come from? This first point pick was a beautiful play on the side of Drexel. Being able to find the first pick and follow up with the sticky. Just perfect execution there. We're going to be going to a break. Don't go away first. We'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to the match point territory. We are now on Runasapi. This here is going to be our push map for tonight here. Stevenson is currently up in the series 2-0 against Drexel University Gold. On this map here, you're going to have your robot here pushing barricades, trying to meet checkpoints, and whoever gets to the final destination or the farthest when time runs out will win here. This is Drexel's last opportunity to come back here and stay alive in the series. If they do not get this map here tonight, they are done. So all eyes are on you, Dragons. What are you going to do? You got to be ready for this engagement here because it's not going to be an easy one. We are going to be seeing subs come in. Papa May is back in for Legend. Sean in for 49 and Garfield Pipe in for Zeus. The game is underway and both sides are rushing to their destinations here. We're going to be seeing from the side of Stevenson, they're running their tracer Genji's Ramatra, Brigitte, and Juno. As for the side of Drexel, Orisa, Genji, Cassidy, Brigitte, and Juno. Mirror matchup with the difference between Sirius and the rest. Now going to be seeing here the engagement. Stevenson's going to be taking it a bit wide here to start as they don't want to engage too heavily here. The point unlocks and Drexel takes the initiative here for the bot. From the side of Stevenson, however, they will be playing towards their back line here, trying to see who they can find for some eliminations, dealing some extra damage there, making the space. Stevenson has isolated their targets and they're looking to see if they can capitalize on them, and they do just that. Now going to be able to push their way on in, finds the first pick onto Jasper there, and the rest are going to be hunting for more. Garfield next to fall is Root Beer is able to find 2 picks, looking for a third, hungry for more, as it's going to be Drexel playing safer here. Stevenson has the initiative and they're running with it here. Drexel has to regroup and try to find a way to tempo themselves against Stevenson. Stevenson has just been an unrelenting force that barely has slowed down whatsoever. So very tough judgment here to say how Drexel is going to be able to handle this. Right now the point just mere meters away from capping the checkpoint, as we're going to be seeing the fight break on out here. Unwritten going to be the first to follow as Sean looking to see if they can find a pick in the front line here, allowing the team to push forward, taking out the Orisa and giving the team the first checkpoint. This is going to give Stevenson a closer respawn point against Drexel, as Drexel is going to be staying at their normal respawn. Going to be looking for a potential pulse here. Gets spotted, going for the sticky, but not going to be hitting its mark. Stevenson just misses that pulse bomb there. Quit's going to be trying to do it out with Jasper, as you're going to be seeing ults coming in from either side here. Slam finds Root Beer as Stevenson is losing numbers by the minute here. You're going to be seeing them having to play for a regroup after getting this point pushed well over halfway. There is a bit of a duel coming on out here between Mr. Sirius and Jasper just cannot handle Mr. Sirius. Just taking him down from behind here. Has to be very careful because Mr. Sirius could get caught out here. Point returns over to control of the Mustangs here, as Mr. Sirius is in no man's land, trying to fight to stay alive and somehow makes it, believe it or not. We do see ults ready and available for the side of the Mustangs here. The Dragons need to try to get some picks here, and now pushing their way on in. Rally coming out from either side here, but it's going to be Stevenson that's going to take the initiative with the Dragon Blade. The start finds the first pick and the second, looking to see if they can get Unwritten. Will it be enough? No, Unwritten here trying to hold it on out and gets it as soon as the barrier drops here. Not long for this world, they made their trade against Sean, and Sean's going to have a walking of a time to get back from spawn. Seems right now still keeping the point pushing here, but despite being down a tank, they're not really stopped here. Jasper going in here with the Dragon Blade, finds the first pick, but immediately taken down by Quits in a reversal Ghost Dash. Stevenson only having the annihilation available from Sean Mike. as they're going to be looking to regroup here. Point is going to take away the close respawn that Stevenson was granted earlier now. Unwritten here, looking for some initial shots, but has to watch out. Quits is on his backline. Going to have to play it very safe, receiving the speed from, Sroof here. Losing my tongue there a bit. Going in aggressively and fast. Sean trying to find some picks here and dealing a huge amount of damage, allowing Quits to just clean up everyone that is low. Just a little over 5 minutes remaining now, and Drexel is not looking in the best of spots here. I mean, take a look at how this is going so far. We're seeing them not being able to push back against the Mustangs here. It's like there's just something not following through, if it's shots being missed or coordination in lacking. Ult is ready here from Garfield, but Garfield does not go in with the ult. Unwritten does get to trade here, but it does not matter, as we're going to be seeing the orbital cannon finding initial picks with Papa May leading the charge. No team kill awarded there, as they were able to stagger out the picks to start. Drexel is coming down to these last few meters here that they have to defend against, and it's looking dire for them to start. Pulse bomb coming on out from Mr. Sirius there, being able to find the initial setup. Garfield gain aggressive here, just missing the javelin, but they do trade Papa May. Traded back there by Sean. It seems that Stevenson just refuses to give up the space here. They just are not afraid of what's in front of them. Despite the berserker mindset, they have to play it safe, as it's now going to be Drexel's opportunity to retake this point here. Unless Stevenson can gather up enough time playing it back in order to regroup here. They have 4 together right now. Garfield going in aggressively here. Could go for the ult. As initiated, can they get the damage they're looking for? Misses the javelin, but Cohen and Logan there with a follow-up to support their tank. I tell you, without these supports here, you would be seeing Drexel having a rougher time. Close spawn has been taken away, and a beautiful bash there from Logan to be able to get the elimination there. 2 ultimates available for the side of Drexel, while Stevenson has 3. Drexel has to be very mindful of how they handle the situation here. They need to make sure that Logan can counter Quit's blade here to be able to play this on out. Going to be going on into this here. Let's see what they do. Going to be starting up with the slow here. The point continues its progression as High Noon has been activated. Trying to play for the guard here. Can they find any picks? Rowley's been activated. Finds the first onto Papa May there, as they're going to be continuing this push here. They're trying to see if they can find elimination, but here comes Sean with the annihilation! Barely staying alive there with the block, being able to waste enough time for Quits to be able to go in with the blade, supporting it with the slash and dash. However, despite all best efforts here, Stevenson is finding themselves struggling and having to play back for a regroup here. Drexel finally finding their footing to be able to get their first checkpoint. So now with ultimates invested from both sides, there is 2 for the side of Stevenson, while only 1 is available. It's going to be Collins, and Cohen is still on their way back. They're trying to get back in time, but it could prove disastrous here if they do not get in the right position. Going to be seeing CJ taking on out immediately there, as Logan was traded back. The rally's going to be activated here by Papa May, as we're going to be seeing Cohen go in with the orbital cannon. There's picks on either side as the rally runs on out here. Stevenson has to play to regroup. Too many limbs to handle, and they need to try to get out. Right now here we are going to be seeing Drexel being able to have this comeback here. Could mean the best for them here. Quits overplaying their hand. Going overextended into that fight is not what Stevenson needs. They need to get a full regroup before pretty much getting aggressive into this here. Arisa here going in with the ult. Can they find a pick? No siree. Not until the javelin follows it up. But you got to be careful. This orbital cannon came in fast and dangerous here. It's dealing a lot of damage. Quits trying their darnest to get an elim going here, but cannot in the end. Stevenson is struggling to do some follow-up here. Not a whole lot of time left. They're trying to see if they can stall this on out here to make sure that it's not capped. They don't want to give up the lead here against Drexel. It's coming down to the wire. They need to find a pickoff here and now. Ultimate comes on in here with the orbital cannon, but here comes the Dragon Blade. Dragon Blade going to be coming on up fast and furious here as Colin is looking for the eliminations. They get just that, and they're able to get the lead here. Drexel does stay alive. So with this lead in counting here, you're going to be seeing Stevenson trying to play for a recapture here of point. Has to try to get some eliminations going. They find two immediately there, which gives them the opening they're asking for. But it's going to have to be a lot more than just that, as you're going to be seeing people falling from either side here. It may come down to Mr. Sirius. Mr. Sirius being able to find the limbs, but not enough, as you're going to be seeing Sean Gain taking down themselves. Quits with a follow-up there, and it's going to be a push of a lifetime for Stevenson to make up. They have to get it all the way with overtime in play as well. That is a huge feat to try to take back. It's going to take some time for Stevenson to get into position here, but Drexel can take all the time in the world. However, they need to be smart not to get caught on out as they are there, because any stagger will prove disastrous here for them. If Stevenson gets off this point at any point in time, they will lose it, as this overtime, the longer you have it in possession, the quicker it goes away. So Stevenson really trying to get this push going. They're now just getting stalled here. They're trying to make sure they don't C9 it. The pull comes on out there. Papa May is the first time, and Mr. Sirius with the double kill there. Sean going to be able to follow it up with the third as the Juno comes on in to stay alive. Jasper, last one to die there, as it's going to be a team kill. Papa May, unfortunately, does have longer spawn. They do have Rally, but they're all the way on the other side of the map, and it's going to take a long time for them to get back. Stevenson needs to try to tempo this fight here against Drexel, find some early picks, and make some space to go on into this. It's all going to come down to this. Here comes the annihilation. Sean's going to be pushing up with quits here on the follow-up there. They're able to get their pickoffs, but it's going to get traded back to start. Rowdy making it back just in time. They're going to be able to get rid of that Arisa. They're going to be able to zone the Cassidy here. They need to get rid of the last person on the point here. That's going to be the Juno. Juno going to be able to follow there. Sunbridge is going to be going down next. Now with just 1 minute remaining, Stevenson takes map number 3 in the series. Going for broke there. Stevenson able to hold it out in the end as the legendary beast quits, gets play of the game. A real hard fought match here. Great performance by both teams, as we were seeing almost the impossible coming on out there, but in the end, it is what it is. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. That is going to be it from us here tonight. We'll be seeing you all on Friday here, going up against our next opponents for the Week 5 match. Until then, stay frosty. Bye-bye.